Are you getting email subscribers, but really have no idea what to do with them? Have you let people find you? Then they've opted into your newsletter or a free lead magnet you've offered, but then does the communication end there? Do you have a strategy for nurturing your leads through email? Well, if you've struggled with getting consistent in your email marketing, then you are in for a treat. Liz is joining me today to walk us through a simple 3 step approach to turning your new leads into customers with an extremely simple welcome sequence. You'll walk away from this conversation with something that you can actually go do in less than an hour, and your email list will be primed to buy. I found Liz at an email marketing summit I attended last year, and I was sold just by the pure authenticity she exudes in all she does. She rocks the 90s theme into her brand, a time she loves, and it really brings out this personality that makes you go, yes, I want more of that. And it's a huge reason I wanted to have her share more of how to do just that in our own businesses. The fresh princess of email marketing, Liz Wilcox, is an email strategist and keynote speaker. She shows small businesses how to build online relationships, package up their magic, and turn it into emails that people want to read and, most importantly, purchase from. She's been on more than 100 podcasts, most recently including Smart Passive Income and Imperfect Action. Oh, and by the way, she's also a contestant on Survivor. How cool is that? I cannot wait to get into this conversation, so let's dive in. Hey, friend, welcome to Pursuing Goals God's Way. Have you thought about finally starting that business now that your kids are older? Do you ever stay awake wondering how to mesh your passions into purposeful work? Do you have big, ambitious goals but feel overwhelmed or even unqualified to pursue them? Hey, I'm Gabe. Not too long ago, I longed for the confidence to start an online business. I just wanted to make a difference outside my home bubble using my gifts. But I kept telling myself that I wasn't good enough, I didn't know enough, and I didn't have enough time. Until I realized something huge. My kids need me to be their example, and they need to see me win. And yours do too. In this podcast, you will learn how to clarify your goals, plan with purpose, and ditch your distractions. If you're ready to make an impact and an income, all for the glory of God, then you're in the right place. As an avid runner, I believe life is one massive marathon. It's up to you to run your own race and to finish it well. So lace up those running shoes, pop in your earbuds, and let's do this thing. Are you sick of not sticking with your goals? Sick of hustle culture and want a different strategy? Tired of working on your goals alone? Are you ready to get off social media while growing your online business, but still want connection and support? I got you, friend. Join us inside the Red Hot Accountability Club so that you can lean on others and be inspired to continue working on your goals, both in business and life. Yes, you can work your goals into your lifestyle without sacrificing everything to achieve them. When you join the club, you'll gain coaching, support, and encouragement in a private online space away from the noise of social media. I host a live monthly coaching session to answer your questions and give you feedback as you work toward your business and life goals. This session is a great place to connect with others and mastermind through challenges. Feeling stuck in the in-between? No worries. With the club, you have one-on-one access to me through email or the online community. Reach out anytime you have a question or need a little direction. Inside the Red Hot Accountability Club, you will own your own results, hold yourself accountable, and lean on others for support. If you've been looking for a simple, off-social media way to grow, then this is it. Head to redhotmindset.com/RHA to learn more and join us today. Again, that's redhotmindset.com/RHA, and I can't wait to welcome you inside the club. Hey, Liz, I am so glad that you could be here with us today.
Oh my gosh, my favorite topic, email without social. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I knew that you were the right person for this topic. And because I have followed you for a while, I've been in your membership, I've used your templates, I've done all the things. So I know that you know exactly what you're talking about. Now, before we dive into all things email marketing, I couldn't resist asking about this because you are a contestant on the latest season of Survivor. And I just think that is so cool. I know that you can't spill everything or really anything, but I'd love to hear what made you decide to apply to be a part of it and what was the experience like?
Listen, this actually goes so well. So, y'all, I've always been a huge fan of Survivor, right? Like, if you're looking at my background, you can see I've got NSYNC, Seinfeld, of course, Survivor. I'm an 80s baby. I love Survivor, right? And I've always wanted to apply, but my life never lined up with it, right? Like, in college, I was a broke college kid. I needed to graduate. Then I needed to get a job. And finally, when I applied, the day before I applied, I was watching Survivor with my daughter. And I said, I just really think I'd be good at that show. I think I would be good at that. And my daughter said, well, are you going to talk about it or are you going to do it? And in that moment, I knew it was the right time to apply because I had mastered my email marketing. I had mastered this whole, not having to be on social media to find clients and customers all the time. And I knew if I applied and I got on, my business would be okay. And as a single mom, as someone who supports 3 households on my business, that was really important. I had to have that solid foundation, and email marketing was one of those things, if not really the most foundational piece of my business. So I went ahead and I applied. They called me back within a few hours, and now you're seeing me, on Wednesday nights on CBS.
I love it. And it's been a great experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, the same with growing your business. Overall, it's like, oh, yes, I'm so glad I'm doing this. I'm so glad. But it's, that chart you often see of like the life of an entrepreneur, and, the growth is going up, but, it's up, down, up, down, up, down. That's very similar to my experience with Survivor. Like overall, yes, super glad. I've grown as a person, dot, 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 but it's been up and down, up and down.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, that's a tough thing to be a part of too, just in reality TV itself. And then just the things that you're asked to do, I'm sure was tough, and putting yourself out of that comfort zone. But I think that as entrepreneurs, we do that. We have to step out of our comfort zone. And I love what your daughter said. Are you going to talk about it or are you going to do it? And it's such a great example that like our kids are watching us and they're going to do more so do what we do and not what we say, right? They're going to follow our example and good and bad. And so I just think that's really cool that she's the one that kind of pushed you over the edge.
Thanks. Yeah, and it's the same in business. She probably heard me saying that to myself, honestly, right? Kids are products of their environment, but it really comes down to even, watching and attending this event. Like, are you going to talk about it? Are you going to take all these notes? Are you going to grab up all the freebies and gifts? Or are you actually going to do something? And hopefully today, Gabe and I can help you figure out those next right steps with email marketing. So you can say, yeah, I'm done talking. Like, let's get started.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly what this is meant to do. It's to be an implementation step, not just a listening and hearing step, taking in the information. So let's go on to topic of email marketing. I'd love for you just to tell us briefly about your entrepreneurial journey into email marketing. I know you've had a couple different businesses. So what was that like for you?
Listen, I started an RV travel blog. I think it was 2016. Yeah, 2016. And I kept hearing this advice, like, before I even launched the blog, right? It was everything you do with the blog, everything you do in your business is to grow an email list. And on that email list, like, that's where the money is. That's where sell and convert. And so I started my travel blog and I started the email list on the same day. I said, "Hey, I just started this blog. Join the email list so you can get, new updates," right? And from there, I just realized like, hey, the gurus, quote unquote, are right. This email thing is helping me connect to my audience. It is, when I send out an email, I get more traffic to my site. And then I started dabbling in affiliate marketing, creating your own courses and products. And finally, after a few years of experimenting, you name a digital product, I've created it. And, I finally did the digital course thing, right? Everybody and their mother tells you, right? You gotta have your own course. So I created a course. I had a wait list of 141 people that said, "Yeah, Liz, if you create this thing, we'll buy it." And guess what? I did a typical Monday through Friday open close cart and I made 141 sales. That's when I knew, oh my gosh, I might be doing something a little differently and the people need to know about this. So I sold that travel blog and went all in on email marketing in 2019. And here I am today.
I love that. And how, can you tell us a little bit about how social media fit into that journey? How are you using it now?
Yeah. So, pretty much how I use social media back with my first blogging business is how I use it now, and maybe how you should use it. Each platform is designed in a different way and is designed to connect with people in different ways. And so in my travel blog days, I would go into those different travel Facebook groups and I would ask questions. I would give, responses. I would comment on this, that, and the other. And I just started, making connections that way. And if and when it came up, I would say, oh, yeah, I have my blog, check it out here. Or, yeah, here's a freebie. I have something to help you with that. And it's the same way that I do it today. Maybe I go into some Facebook groups where people need help with email marketing. And I don't try to promote my stuff, right? I'm not like, hey, I have this $9 membership, get my freebie, whatever, whatever. I just try to help. If somebody's asking about subject lines, guess what? I know about subject lines. Here you go. If someone's asking about deliverability, oh, yeah, here's the best article I know about that. Here's the service provider that helped me with deliverability, right? And I just become kind of known as this email person. And then, of course, people get to talking, they get to tagging. Oh, yeah, Liz knows a lot about email. Somebody goes to my profile or they look me up. Oh, wow. Oh, that's her business. Okay, great. Makes sense. Let me sign up. And so I'm using social media, and I've always used social media the way it was designed.
That's so great. I love it because it's a connection piece. It's a way for you to get out there and have visibility, but do it in a way of actually having conversations and being helpful, answering questions with certain things. And then people just get to know you that way. And so, what a great way to utilize it. But then you also aren't focused on it as being the selling point because you know that email marketing is your selling point. And one thing that I love about you, Liz, is that you bring your personality into everything that you do when it comes to business. And so you rock like the 80s, 90s theme because that's just something that you love. And it seems like it's really important to infuse that personality and that part of you into your emails and into your audience. Why was that important for you and how did that evolve?
Yeah. So, I mean, bringing it back to social media, there are certain people that you follow that you just resonate with, that you just love their personality, you love their style, you love their background, the way they dress, the way they talk, the way they do their hair, right? It's all these little pieces. And when I was with my travel blog, I my main audience were men in their 60s. If you can't tell by my voice or my looks, like I'm not a man in my 60s. But I knew I needed to connect with them, right? Email marketing and all marketing really is just about connection, right? We can talk, oh, I'm B2B, I'm B2C. No, we are H2H, human to human, right? And so as I was trying to connect with them, I realized the stories that I would tell about, watching Seinfeld or my mom listening to AC/DC in the car, cassette tapes, things like that, they really resonated with. But it actually kind of backfired on me because I was trying to connect so wholeheartedly with people that weren't me. I was covering up sides of myself. Like I would never talk about in sync with my RV travel blog. I would never talk about my love for, all things pink and trolls and poppy and all this. It just didn't match with who I was trying to talk to. So actually, after a few years, I felt a little burnt out. I was like, I can't really be my full true self. And in fact, I was leaning into some parts of myself that I didn't necessarily want to grow. Like my blog became this very heavily sarcastic, sardonic sort of writing. And I'm actually not a sarcastic person at all. I think sarcasm is like incredibly rude way of talking to people. But you know, it took me to go one wrong way to understand the right way. And so now with lizwilcox.com and anything I do from here on out, I just lean into my full authentic self. And guess what? It seems to be working really well. The more I lean into Liz and, my personality, the more I attract the right people. And it's not even about just attracting a bunch more Liz's, right? Gabe is not like me at all, right? Sure, we have some things in common, but even just looking at our backgrounds, we're clearly two different people. In my membership, I have a nun from California who sells, children's books for her monastery. I have a guy who draws and just wants to inspire other people to, not give up on their drawing talents. I've got people from Chicago with nonprofits for inner city kids, right? But all of those people are so different, but it's the personality, right? Oh, Liz is this. She has this. I love color too. I love that she's light and fun and brave, right? Those are the things that attract all different types of people. And so, like, I'd love for you to lean more into your personality as well. You never know who or what you have in common.
Yeah, that's such a good point because I think for you, Liz, at least for me, it was the authenticity that drew me in. And I am a 90s, I'm an 80s baby as well. So I love NSYNC and all the boy bands and things like that too. So it was just kind of fun to see that. And I think that when we do business, we need to have fun. And in order to do that, we need to infuse that personality a little bit as well. So I know that first impressions are really key, especially person to person and whatnot. But I also would assume that it's the same for the first emails that we send to new leads on our list. So let's move into kind of why a welcome sequence is so important.
We've got to set expectations. So it's about setting the expectation of what's going to happen. I just signed up for your list, right? Probably through a freebie, a lead magnet, whatever you want to call it. And so I don't really have much expectations other than I better see that freebie in the inbox, right? But you, as the business owner, have a lot of expectations. You know where you want to take this person. So the welcome sequence is incredibly important to, set the tone, set the expectation, but also to Gabe's point, also share your personality and two more things. You also want to share the vision you have. Hey, you signed up for this list. Here's what's going to happen now. Here's the vision I have for you. For me, I want you to make money with email marketing. So I share that with you right off the bat. And then some of your values. So it's really important to share some of your values. And this isn't spew your politics everywhere, try to convert people. This is, there are certain principles that drive the way you do business that again align you with the right customers, right? The way that I, say, "Oh yeah, my membership it's $9 a month. It's super cheap," right? Some people might be repelled by that, right? A lot of people that have high ticket stuff, it's like, maybe that's not for me. This lady's kind of weird." But when I share my values behind it, hey, I come from an education background. I value your right to an education. It's like, oh, that makes sense. I value education too. Let me give her another shot. So that welcome sequence is really important, again, to set the expectation and to share a little bit of personality, vision, and values so that the right people align with you and want to go where you're going.
So good. So I know that the welcome sequence is so important and setting it up with infusing our personality, infusing our vision and our mission and our values. And part of that is some people might get on our list and realize they're not for us and they leave right away. But I feel like that's okay because we want to attract the people that are for us. And if they aren't, you don't want them sitting on their list on your list because they're probably not going to open your emails or they're not going to take action ever. And so we're looking at kind of conversion rates and email click through rates and all the things because now with the different updates that Google and Yahoo have been doing, it is really important to see that people want what we are sending out. So, what are some things that you've seen that entrepreneurs are doing wrong with the welcome emails? And are there some ways we can change that?
Yeah, I love what Gabe just said. It's so important to realize, and I just want to take a pause really quick. I know email marketing and sending emails and getting those unsubscribes and is so emotional. Like you're not wrong for feeling your feelings when someone unsubscribes. But it's just what Gabe said about the conversions, right? Oftentimes I see people getting so frustrated with email because they're trying to keep everyone on your list. But email works so well because it's consent based. I opt in to hear from Gabe, right? Shahara opts in to hear from Liz, right? It's a very consent based thing. And when you set up your welcome sequence in a way like we talked about, we're setting expectations. Hey, this is where I'm going. Sharing a little bit of personality. Hey, this is who I am. Sharing the vision. Hey, this is where we're going. Sharing those values. Hey, these are the type of people that I want to come with me. When we do all of that, it gives that person even more permission to say, yes, this is exactly where I want to go too. Or, I wasn't that serious. I just wanted the free thing. I'm out of here. And it's going to make you feel so much better about email, sending those newsletters, those sales emails, because you've kind of, shaken the tree loose of the leaves that don't want to stay, right? You've done all the work to make sure like only the people that are right for your offers stay. So I just want to say like if email feels emotional, it's okay, but change that mindset of, it's not about getting to the highest number possible. It's about making sure the right people are on your email list. So I just wanted to pause there. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a really great point because it is really frustrating sometimes when you do all this work and you put in all this work and you see these email subscribers coming in, but then you see them leaving as well. But then sometimes I think, well, I just need to hear no enough to see yes. And one yes is powerful. And one person who is impacted by you is powerful. And then there will be another, and then there'll be another, and it will be a trickle down effect. And so a lot of things that I like to do, I actually have a folder that has positive messages from people in my email. Like I take screenshots whenever somebody replies to me and says something encouraging. And then if I have that unsubscribe or that bad day, I just go to that in that folder and I look at some of those messages and go, okay, I think I'm doing okay. It's okay. I'm where I need to be. I'm just going to keep going. And sometimes we just need that encouragement and that cheerleading. And we need to figure out how to do that for ourselves sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I call mine is labeled praise. And so I just go in there when I'm having a bad day. But Gabe asked me earlier about like those mistakes that people make in the welcome sequence. So I'd love to address that. When the biggest mistake I see is just trying to do too much. It's just the welcome sequence. I teach something called the email staircase: follower, friend, customer. But they're not our friends yet when they join our email list. But we are going to start the friendship here, right? And so don't try to throw everything at them and don't try to tell too many stories. They don't care yet. They will care one day, but in your welcome sequence, just keeping most of your emails pretty short. In that first email, if they signed up for XYZ, just give them XYZ. You don't need to, oh, by the way, I'm Brittany and da 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 da. It's like I just wanted this thing. So the first email especially just, you know, deliver the thing that they were promised and then give a quick intro. Oh, by the way, I'm Liz Wilcox. If you only know one thing about me, let it be this. As much as I love the 90s, I love the idea of you making money with email even more. See how I've shared my personality, the 90s, right? And I shared the vision, make money with email in just one sentence. Just keep it really, really short. Don't worry about storytelling right now. Just worry about starting that friendship.
That's a good point. Having that start, making it short and sweet. And a lot of times people don't want to read a really long email right away. They just want that thing. So that was a really great point. Are there any other things that you've seen that people do that maybe we should not do in the beginning?
Yeah, I think if you're just I guess the biggest mistake, if you're just starting out or if you're doing like if you've created a product, you launched it once and now you want to put it into your welcome sequence as a funnel. I say it with love. I know this might hurt, but don't do that. Funnels, like welcome sequence funnels, like into a product or a service, should only be done when you've been selling that product or service for a while. You've live launched it for a long time and you know exactly why it sells and why it doesn't. And then putting that into a sequence. Oftentimes I see people very much, oh, well, they're on my list now. I have to sell them immediately. That's a 2.0 strategy. When you've got your you know what together and you know what sells, you love your products, then you can take out the welcome sequence and just put in, this funnel. Hey, this is the thing I'm going to sell, buy it or not, right? Don't try to just jump into that. That's an advanced strategy. Right now, as you're growing, you're creating products, you're live launching, and you're figuring out what offer you even want to make, just keep the welcome sequence short and sweet. Again, just sharing a little bit of personality, sharing the vision you have for your clients and students, and sharing the values you hope you both have in common. That's all you really need in the welcome sequence. Of course, I also want you to share, hey, I offer products. Don't avoid it. At the same time, don't avoid it. But you can do this very simply with just one sentence. Hey, around here, I'm going to offer you free and paid products. And if you
Mm,
have those free and paid products, you can say, like my $9 membership, like my $100 blah, 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 like my group coaching, blah, blah, right? And you can just bullet those. Don't expect anyone to purchase right off the welcome sequence. Again, I just told you it's not a funnel, right? But you can expect for that switch to be flipped in the back of their head, right? From, oh, I just got this free thing to, oh, Gabe has real services and products that can help me. She makes real solutions. Okay, now, I know what to expect, right? Set that expectation up front. So don't go too crazy over here with the funnels when you're not ready, but also don't ignore, that you have paid products. So definitely let them know that.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because what I hear from you, Liz, too, is the welcome sequence itself is really for you to share what you're doing, how you help, your values, so that that person who's on the receiving end can go, yeah, I want more of that. Yeah, I think that Liz is the teacher for me. Yeah, I want to keep seeing what she has to offer, and then being able to share, hey, I got products too. Because if you run a business, you're not a hobby. You do have products and services. You need to put that out there so they know, but it's really just like, let's test the waters and see if we're a good fit.
Amen. I love Gabe said it perfectly. She summed it up really, really nice.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Okay, so here's my other question too when it comes to welcome sequences. Say we've been in business for a while, but never incorporated a welcome sequence, have a ton of subscribers, but kind of all over the place. Should I send my welcome sequence to those people too? How does that work?
Yeah, if you're just now creating a welcome sequence, but you've already got, hundreds or thousands of people that never went through anything, definitely take what you just wrote and, remix it. Hey, by the way, this is just a reintroduction. I'm Liz, and here's what's going to happen for the rest of the year, right? Because we're going to set expectations. We want it to make a little sense. So instead of saying welcome to my email list, you can say, hey, I'm so and so. This is a reintroduction. I wanted to share what's going to happen from here, through the rest of the year. And then you just set expectations. Tell them, hey, I'm going to email you on these days. I'm going to share these kinds of tips or tricks. I'm going to offer this and that free and paid product, right? And just go from there. Oh, by the way, don't forget this is why I'm in business. This is who I serve. And then just go into a newsletter, but definitely take that welcome sequence and, like I said, kind of remix it and send it out to your list. I wouldn't send, let's say you have 4 emails, I wouldn't take 4 weeks to send those. Maybe you combine them into 2 emails and you send them, within 5 days of each other.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So in a re-engagement in a way. Hey, if you've been here for a while, I just want to clarify, here's what I do and here's what you can expect from me. I love setting expectations because I think the communication is so important because as long as people know, they're good with it. They just want to know what's going on.
Amen. So
Awesome.
true.
Yeah, yeah. So man, I could talk to you all day about email marketing, and you're just so fun to have this conversation with. As we kind of are wrapping up, I'd love to hear too. Now we have the welcome email sequence. How do we take that and turn followers into customers with email? What's the next step from there?
Yeah, so I highly recommend a consistent newsletter. And a good rule of thumb is weekly. And I think almost everyone listening could do well with a weekly newsletter. Even if you are a jewelry maker, weekly is a good rule of thumb because you want to do three things. And one of them is stay top of mind, right? When I have a solution, or I'm sorry, when I have a problem and I'm looking for a solution, where do I normally go? Well, whatever's top of mind, right? Oh, Walmart's down the street. I'm going to go to Walmart. But if Target was down the street, I would go to Target, right? We want to be top of mind. The other two things in your newsletters that you need to do or just show you're invested, right? Show you're invested in your potential customer. Show that you're invested in that vision. My vision, you make money with email, right? And so maybe in my newsletters, I'm sharing about the books I read, the summits I'm attending, the summits I'm speaking at, the things that I've read that I'm relaying to you, right? That shows I'm invested. Maybe it's even I just bought a new laptop or a new microphone so I can record better videos for you, right? That's an investment. And people are not going to invest in you if they don't know that you first are invested in them. So, again, show you're invested, stay top of mind. And the third thing is to just be relatable. And no, I didn't say be interesting, right? Let's leave that to celebrities and, reality TV shows, right?
Mm.
Don't be interesting, just be relatable. And even, we did bring up Survivor and I just made a joke about it. That is not something that's very relatable to my audience, right? Going on a TV show. So today I actually wrote a newsletter and I had written this paragraph about, the emotions I'm going through as I'm seeing myself on TV, look kind of silly. And I deleted it. I said, Liz, this isn't really relatable. Like maybe I can talk about this later but I'm in it and it just doesn't it's not relatable. My audience, they might, oh wow, Liz, that's so amazing. But I want them to relate to me today. So what can I say that's more relatable? And I just took the whole bit about, being on TV out. So relatable is, I'm really tired today but I wrote this anyway. My fridge broke, and had to spend unexpected money. Has that ever happened to you? I gotta keep this email short because I need to go to carpool. I haven't done laundry in a week. Just those little itty bitty life bits, right? Those are so relatable, and you might think nobody cares, Liz. What does me not doing laundry have anything to do with my crochet blog? Nothing, except that you are human to human, right? And someone reading that probably hasn't done laundry either. And it's going to create that connection for you that you need in order to get them to believe that, you are the one for them, right? So again, it's invest, be relatable, and stay top of mind. Those are the next steps that you need. That's the kind of content you need in your emails to convert to customers later.
So good. And 3 really simple steps. It's not complicated. It doesn't have to take a long time to infuse some of this into the emails. And I've found that the times that I send emails that are much more relatable, I get tons more responses to it. There is something about it. Like it doesn't have to do with business strategy or goals or whatever it is that I'm talking about. But if I say something like, I had a really bad week this week, or just something where I'm showing I'm human and man, I couldn't do much other than I really wanted to get this email out to you. It's been a long week. I need to go take a nap. I mean, people are like, wow, okay, that was so great to hear that I'm not alone, right? They want to know that they're not alone in this either. So being relatable, so important. I know that you do have a free download for listeners as well called the Mega Email Swipe File, which is going to help them implement the things that we were talking about today. Can you share a little bit about what's inside?
Yeah, of course. So, if you're wondering what this welcome sequence looks like, if you're having a hard time conceptualizing, don't worry. I'm an email marketer. Of course, I already wrote it for you. So, I know there's a link somewhere here, or you can go directly to lizwilcox.com, hit the hot pink button, and you can get an entire welcome sequence. It's just 4 emails, and it's going to guide those new leads, into potential customers in just 4 emails. I'm going to show you where to inject that personality, vision, and values. You're also going to get 3 newsletter samples, like what we just talked about with connecting, relatability, and investing. What does that look like? I'm going to give you 3 newsletter samples. And if that's not enough, I know writing from scratch, it totally sucks. So I'm going to give you 52 subject lines for a year full of prompts, all for free.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I think that is such a great thing. Go snag it now. And I will also leave a link to Liz's membership because, like I said in the beginning, I'm actually a part of it. It's $9 a month. I have found so much value in it just alone. And even if you're like, $9, what kind of value can you get for $9? Liz just brings it. She brings it. And so, last question for you, Liz. What is the number one takeaway or implementation step that you want listeners to have from our conversation?
I love this. Go into your welcome sequence or when you're crafting one if you don't have one. Please put that sentence. I am going to offer you free and paid products, free and paid resources, services, whatever word you want to use. Please put that in there. It's going to flip the switch from someone who just got this freebie. They're not really sure what's up now that they're on your list to, oh, this person has a business that solves this problem I have. Like, please, if you do nothing else, that one sentence is going to change your email marketing life. So excited.
All right, there's your challenge. There's your homework for the day. It's going to take you just a couple minutes to go pop in there, add that implementation step. Liz, thank you so much for being here with us. I was honored to be able to host you today. And I know that you just brought so much value for everybody.
I can't wait to see what everybody does with email. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time and I hope you did too. Before we go though, if you resonate with this episode, please consider leaving a review on iTunes or sharing it with a friend as it helps grow the podcast. Also, if you're not a part of the Red Hot Accountability Club, what are you waiting for? It's a private online community away from the noise of social media that provides coaching, support, and encouragement as you go after your biggest goals in business or life in a stress-less, no hustle kind of way. Inside the club, you will own your own results, hold yourself accountable, and lean on others for support. If you've been looking for a simple, off social media way to grow, then this is it. Head on over to redhotmindset.com/RHA to learn more and join us today. Again, that's redhotmindset.com/RHA. And I can't wait to welcome you into the club. In all things I pray, you just run your race. I believe in you.